Do you think like hot lava enemas would cause like rectal cancer?
Check their Pokemon and asses out.
Speaking of which,
We've released our first unhinged trillionaire on the planet. I mean, this is some shady shit that's going on. Little detour here, but all right, let's talk about pedophilia.
I did not have sex with that child.
Weird that we have to say that at this point, but okay.
The government is honest and true and has never lied to us and never will.
I don't know that y'all know what these words mean. What's Adam Sandler doing?
This actor makes walking and talking look difficult.
I don't know how big a British fish stick is versus an American fish stick. I don't have that fucking conversion chart.
Hell, are we 2 hours into a call and you're just now telling us this?
I'll step down off that soapbox.
Dilly dilly.
All right, here we
Hey.
go with another episode of Braver, Newer, Worlder. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, as we fucking barrel towards the sun. I can't believe it's only been like 2 weeks since the last time we talked, and all the shit that's like kind of gone down. Yeah.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say only 2 weeks till the end of civilization. I was like, oh, damn, okay.
If you go on Polymarket, I'll bet you could probably get some solid odds on that right now.
Probably. Yeah.
And if you know some people, you can pull off some sweet like insider trading, because
Insider
apparently
trading,
that is
yeah.
all Polymarket is about right now. Is like
Oh, yeah.
if you know what's up, you can make some money. Like some dude, what was it? The line that I saw a few weeks ago was like somebody was making money based on like Trump's speeches. Like he knew, like he had like some inside information, right? So that's how Polymarkets work. They're not like gambling with a bookie. Like you introduced us to the shady world of horse betting a few weeks ago, and it's like it's a prediction market. It doesn't really matter what happens. It only matters what most people think is going to happen, right?
And you can propose your own wagers. So if you've got the insider information, you can propose a wager on that and take people's money, basically.
I think I could propose like a wager, be like, Josh Krynock is going to do XYZ by the end of the year, and who takes me up on it, right?
Pretty much. Like
Bet
if you have
against
enough
myself.
if you have enough sway, if you have enough inside information, it's kind of like where gambling's going to go. I mean, baseball, basketball, football, they pretend like they've got some legitimacy, even though now that they're all stationed in Vegas, and you know Vegas now has professional sports teams and they have in-game betting, and you know you can pretty much do anything you want. I really think like the next stage of betting is literally going to be who can corrupt it the most. Like if you have the most inside information and you basically just say, okay, you do it. And then you say, hey, I did this and here's all the money I made from this. And people are like, wow, this guy's a genius, man. You know, where it's all just pretty much based on inside information, who you know, what you can get out to the public. I mean, this is some shady shit that's going on. And this is what we're supposed to believe is like the legitimate part of the world right now. Like this is, you know, it's at least it's not government.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. The government is honest and true and has never lied to us and never will.
And I think like since the last time we talked, I think the last time we recorded, it was like the night of or the night after the finals of the World Cup. And who knows, I'm sure the Polymarkets, you know, had their day there. But I do remember AI, you posted like on social media how like you were a new fan of soccer or World Cup, or you had a great experience with that. Is that correct?
I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And before I lose this thought, so remember how we celebrated the U.S. women's hockey team in the Olympics? They allowed
Sure enough.
2 goals the entire Olympics.
Yeah, they were dominant for sure. Love them.
Spain allowed 1 goal the entire World Cup. 1 goal.
Their entire run.
The entire run of it, which was like 7, 8 games. 1 goal.
All right.
Cow.
All right.
So
And that is what kind of grabbed your fandom? Like
no.
that-
That was just before I lost my train of thought. What grabbed my fandom was the Scottish people just having so much fun. I'm like, all right, let me check it out. So they drew me in. I'm like, all right, so I'll watch a game. I forget the first game I watched. It was crisp. The passing. I mean, it was just like, I'm like, okay, I get it at this level. And then I just really got into it and started understanding rules a little bit. Enjoyed it.
Now, what did you think of the final? I'm trying not to lead the witness here, but like I came away from the final, watching that final with a bit of a different opinion.
It was a good napping day for me. It was a good napping event. It was
So I
dominated
could
by
get that.
defense. So I think
Spain, had the ball in Argentina's end for for most of the game. Like Spain dominated time and possession, in the other person's end, blah, blah, blah. They dominated all the stats, but, it's fucking soccer, so nobody scored until like the
I
last
think
goddamn
Argentina
minute.
had 0 shots on goal. 0, I think.
They did. They didn't have shit. They had nothing. They had no shots on net, no shots on the
Yeah, net.
goalie, nothing.
Yeah.
The Argentine, it's not Argentinian, right? It's Argentine. The Argentine goalie set the record for the most saves at it was like 8 and he went to 9, 10, 11 because they just kept blasting it at him there at the end. The thing that I came away with watching that game, because obviously, we've talked about it before, Chronic and I hockey's the greatest game ever, and, is how shady the Argentinian team was. I mean,
and they're under
I watched the
review.
dude get chucked in the back. What the fuck does that mean at this point?
Well, they didn't win, so they can't take anything away from them. But they might get penalized going forward. I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
because it was pretty blatant.
Yeah, really
Listen,
blatant.
I watched a guy from Argentina push another player in the back twice before the official came over and said something. I'm like, dude, this is hockey. You're gonna get you're gonna lose teeth. You can keep all the yellow card, red card, keep them in your fucking pocket. I'm just gonna knock this dude out and then I'm fine. I'll walk off the field. But I just could not believe how overtly shady they were, and just dives and blatantly, chucking the other guys in the back and then bitching about it. And I know, that's what the one thing I don't like about soccer is that at that level, that is considered gamesmanship. If you can get the penalty, fine, do whatever you got to do to get it. But I just can't.
I mean, is it also part? I don't really particularly like it either, and I'm just maybe devil's advocating here, but is it because with the a lot of these teams are nationalities, right? So they're coming from the teams they're normally playing for in league play are all over the world. So but when you come for a once every 4-year event, like if there are no holdovers or penalties that carry over into any of your other league play or leagues, games, is it kind of just an accepted hey, this is anything to win in the World Cup?
I think it's that way in general with soccer on an international level. I think anything you can do. I've seen different examples of it. You look at these people funny and they fall down like they got shot. It's pretty bad. And that, like I said, that game, I was going to be bummed out if Argentina found a way to get a goal because Spain just dominated. Spain seemed like they were playing a very clean game. Plus, fucking the orange dipshit was up there, celebrating with his buddy. So I was like, fuck him. Yeah. And then he tried to take over the celebration. He tried to be like, oh, yeah, I love Spain. And they had to tell him to get the fuck off the field, you fucking blob.
You're ruining the buzz.
Yeah, that one kid from Spain, he wouldn't even shake his hand. He just kind of gave Trump the sideways glance and just nah, you can fuck off.
Yeah, so. Fuck yeah, good job, guy.
Well,
I mean, whatever, but just stick to your principles.
Sorry.
Go on.
I was saying, speaking of soccer and hockey, I did watch one match with a friend of mine who is a soccer coach. He's coached at the collegiate level and the high school level. He's played soccer and he's played hockey. And I had this conversation with my sister. My sister was of the opinion that soccer players, the most skilled soccer players, are the most skilled athletes in the world. I said, maybe second. I said, I'm going to put hockey first. And she disagreed. I said, don't say anything. I'm going to ask him. And I asked him, because he's 50-50. He loves both sports. I said, which one is the before I could finish the question, he said, oh, hockey. I said, told you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, other than
it's obvious.
Running around and having good, I don't get it. I don't see it. I mean, having
Oh, no,
endurance,
they're
running
extremely
around.
skilled feet, with their feet.
But trying to kick a ball
Sure.
and
Well,
run
and
and
yeah,
pass like accurately at speed and moving your feet is tough to do. It's extremely tough to
and the
do.
Okay, I
bicycle
just
kicks
don't
they
think you
do in
get
midair and the headbutts they time perfectly. I mean, yeah, they're skilled for sure.
I just don't think you get to be classified as the best athletes on the planet if you don't use your arms. If you're only using half of your limbs, like
That's
I
fair.
don't I
That
don't
was
buy
kind
it.
of
Like
my point as well, yeah.
it's
No, I mean,
I was
I think
like
restricting something of it is better than using more. You know, you can only use half of your limbs. You don't get full use of your body.
Well,
You
there's a
know,
good
like your
counter argument.
hand for most people, for most people, your hand. If you take the average person across the world, what are you most capable of using? It's your
no,
hands. What can you do with your feet?
but what we're talking about here is skill. So
Yeah,
if you're shutting down half of your body, then you don't have to worry about it. The skill is in using all four limbs coordinated together like a hockey player.
yeah.
You can play soccer if you chopped off two of your arms. That doesn't make you skilled.
I mean, it's you're using
It's,
less. You're
I
using
don't buy
less of your.
I don't buy the
You're using
argument that
less of
soccer
your
players
body
are
to
in
make
any way
things
the most.
happen.
Yeah, but
Like
so
in
what do you?
hockey, you
But
can use more stuff.
but
It'd be
what are
like
you make?
saying like
But what are you making happen? You're running and you're kicking.
and moving the ball and scoring.
I don't
I
buy
mean,
it.
it's the
I will
same.
never
It's the
buy that
same.
hockey
And
players are. I will never buy that soccer players are the most skilled athletes on the planet. I find that
Here's
argument
my
wrong.
argument.
I'm not saying that they're the most skilled at
That's what we were just
all.
talking about.
But
What
that's
it
not what I'm
boils
saying. I'm saying that they're very skilled.
But yeah, I get that they're very skilled. And it's fine.
what it
Good
boils
for
down
them.
to me
A lot of people
is
are
you've
very
got a big
skilled.
soccer ball that's moving, I don't know, a third the speed of a little hockey puck, and guys with thin sticks are seeing a puck come 100 miles an hour, and with their stick, they're able to flick it out of midair. I'm like, okay, that eye-hand coordination, done. That's it. You win. That's the winner.
I mean, I kind of feel like soccer is the most popular sport on the planet simply because it's not the most skilled. It's the most universal. The most people can kind of get behind it. Anybody can kind of do it. Like not at that level, obviously. I'm not trying to say that, but anyone can play soccer. I mean, I've
Well,
worked
it's
part-time
less
job.
of it's less that anyone can play it because anyone can play it, and less of and more that anyone can play it because all you need is a ball-like object to play.
Agreed.
Certainly.
I agree with
Hockey,
that.
hockey is an expensive as fuck sport to play.
Agreed. Nope,
There's
doubt about
only
that.
so many people who can have the
Less accessible.
pleasure and privilege to enjoy hockey at any level. It's a small, but soccer everybody can play because you just need a fucking port, a street, a field, almost anything, and a little ball item. That's why it's the most popular sport around the planet.
Right. Though we were talking about the skill involved. That's what we were kind of talking about there.
Sure,
And I just don't
and
I don't buy it.
which, like I said, I'm not trying to. I agree. I think, in my opinion, is for what it counts. I agree with you. Hockey is definitely
Oh, we
is
all
the
agreed.
number
Yeah.
one.
It's funny
That's
too.
not for me. I'm not arguing that soccer is better. What I'm arguing though is like soccer does take a lot of talent to play. Like you can fall on your fucking face trying to run cross the field and time a pass while you're running in full fucking stride to meet one of your teammates across there who tries to head it into the fucking net, into a corner of the net with just his head, and you don't get to use your head. You're cutting off half of all of your capability. That seems to me to make it harder. If you're limiting and restricting what your capability and potentials are, it's like a handicap. It's a
I
handicap.
think you just proved my point by describing a play that scores 1% of the time. Yes, they do those things.
Difficult to do.
Yes, of course it is. How often do they connect and actually score? They make the passes, they do the thing, but how often does it end up in a goal?
I'm still going to
So
give it
Yes.
number two. I'm still giving them number two most
I know, I
skilled.
guess
I
because it
guess
only happens
we
once
didn't
in a
really
while, it doesn't take much skill to do it, I guess is your point.
we didn't really define skill. Well, okay, I'll give you my point by way
I
of
would say
example.
because it only happens 1% of the time, it takes a lot of skill to make happen. And it doesn't happen a lot of the time because, like you said, the general population is not capable of pulling off that skill.
They
It's
do
very
it in
difficult to
but they
score.
do it in the game as well. It's very difficult to score. Does that make it?
Takes a high level of skill to complete.
I think we're assuming that.
No, if it's hard to do, it should take a high level of skill, or not. Is that retarded? If it's
Well,
hard to do, it takes a high level of skill to complete.
I agree with that.
okay, but if everybody's on the same level and everyone's on the same field and everyone's playing the same sport and it still doesn't fucking happen very often, how skilled are those people?
Which I said most people aren't very skilled.
That's what I'm saying.
But
You
the
got the
ones at
highest-
the top are that skill.
But are you listening to me right now?
I think so.
The
Maybe
guys at
not.
the highest level do this shit 57 times a game and score once. Is that skill?
I guess not. They're all retarded.
Does it
Yeah,
take
fuck. I
skill
don't
to
know.
just? I mean, does it take skill to throw the ball at the net 50 fucking times? Like,
Apparently
I don't-
not. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't-
retarded.
I think you're exaggerating with 50 times.
But I'm just saying, yes, I agree that it takes skill. I'm not trying to like badmouth the players. I'm not really trying to badmouth the sport even. I'm just saying I don't get that it is the most like difficult or the most skilled sport on the planet to play. That's what AI started this out basically saying that Tammy said that soccer players are the most skilled athletes on the planet. I'm like, absolutely not. You know, I
think
remember
we all agree.
that when one of Grant's twin brothers, Steven played. Him and Matthew both played football through like high school up, and they played rugby. And when they went to college, and I remember Grant telling me a story like one time Steven just like there was a bunch of dudes playing like a pickup game of soccer or whatever in the quad when he was in college, and he just went over there and he just jumped in and played with them. And like halfway through the game, the one guy's like, "Oh my god, dude, you're amazing at this. How long have you been playing?" He's like, "I never fucking played fucking soccer, dude. We played football." So I get it. It's a universal game. It just takes a ball and a net, and it's very easy to play. I don't know. I just feel like on a international level, we give it too much credit. Personally, that's really my point.
I think we're 2-1 against you on that one, but maybe we'll let that go.
And it's not like I'm not trying to diss that. I say they are very skilled, they are very talented, but I can say it in the same way that I could say, look, I think the Beatles are one of the greatest bands on the planet, and also one of the most overrated bands on the planet. At the same time, I feel the same way about soccer. Like it is at one time universal. It's great. I sat down, I watched it, I tried to get into it, and I did. Then I found myself rooting, kind of, I guess, like everybody else on a nationalistic level, like, fuck that goddamn orange piece of shit sitting in the stands. I hope his team loses. Like,
that last match was probably the worst. The championship match was probably the worst one of the whole tournament.
Worse meaning what? Worse meaning what?
Worse as in it was pretty clear Argentina's whole thing was we're not as good as them. We're not going to try to beat them at their game. We're going to try to get under their skin and intimidate and just play ugly soccer and just try to get lucky.
They definitely played, in my opinion, an ugly game, and I just don't see how that flies in any other sport.
It did. I mean, a lot of people immediately were bad mouthing it. Immediately.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, but at what point do your teammates take care of it? Do you have to have that level of restraint?
What do you mean?
Why didn't somebody? There was that one. I can't remember the guy's name. I'd have to go back and watch the tape. But there was one player for Argentina who was very blatantly doing a lot of
shit. The guy that came in at the start of the second half. He was the goon. Yeah, they brought in their goon to start the second half. Yeah.
So, and why somebody didn't just take him out?
Somebody on the other team.
Yeah, why someone for Spain didn't just take this guy out if he's going to be that? Like,
because that would be a red card and that would be a penalty shot, which almost always is a goal. So you'd almost be giving up a goal automatically.
So,
and down
wait a minute. A red
card
player
for the rest of the game.
That's right. So wait a minute. So a red card is an automatic goal kick. And
I think so.
I don't know about
that. It depends on.
I think it depends on where the infraction takes place on the field in soccer.
But to Chronic's point, you would be a man down the rest of the game. Match.
Yeah, I got that part. I got that. Okay, so then the gamesmanship is just part of that. So taunting and being a fucking dick. So okay, so I just don't.
But now, to me, the goon for Argentina deserved at least a yellow card. and 2 yellow cards equals a red card. I think the
Right, because
refs
there
were
was
too lenient.
at least once where he took an obvious dive too.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, I believe, penable.
It's a yellow card, I
Penalizable.
believe.
Yep, I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
so.
that's a
It's at
penalty.
least a penalty. It's at least a minor
So
penalty, if nothing
that
else.
was my only point about the whole thing. I'm fine with, I just don't think that should be considered like I don't even like number 1 or number 2. I don't know. But
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed
Definitely.
it. Everybody had a good time. Not everybody had a good time in this country, but whatever.
That's all right. I didn't get to see it. I was working, and it was broadcast on places that I couldn't see it. So, but my dad updated me as the he always jokes. He goes, I don't know how much time is left in the game. I'm like, it's 45 minutes plus whatever they add at the end. It's
Yeah,
only
nobody knows how much time is left in the game. One guy on the
Yeah,
field
one
Well,
guy.
knows
they
how
do
much
tell
time is
you.
left.
So after the 45 minutes, right at the 45-minute mark, they will put up a sign that says 3 more minutes. But then you don't know if it's going to be 3 minutes exactly or 3 minutes and 59 seconds. It's somewhere in that window.
Sure. So it is definitely the window. Plus, it's kind of floats a little bit based on, whatever TV timeouts and this and that. So actually, that part about the game I like. Just play until the guy tells you you're done, and it has gotten better where they tell you at the end that you have like X amount of minutes. Because before, several years back, they didn't even do that. It was just you played until. So that
Okay.
part I don't mind. I do not like the floating offsides line. It's too arbitrary and
Tough to
up
keep
to,
track of visually. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's ripe for corruption in the officiating world. It's in a game where a 1-0, score is, most likely going to win you a game. The officials can be corrupt when you have a floating offsides line. In hockey, you can't do that. You send that shit up to the fucking, even, you look at it in the booth and everybody sees if it's offsides or
You
not.
can
I
see
think
it in
they
the
do that
booth on soccer too,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very obvious what offsides is.
I don't think they got
But
any of those
yeah, but
wrong that I saw.
where's the line?
It's at the last defender.
So here's what it is. It's if I'm
Yeah, it's
passing
the
the ball.
last defender.
If I'm passing the ball, Buddha, you're the defender. Chronic is my teammate. He cannot be as I'm in the process as my foot hits the ball for the pass. Chronic cannot be closer to the net than you are, or the
No,
last.
I got that. I've just seen so many examples of where they get that wrong.
Really?
Where they call it offsides and it's not. Just on a
Well,
yeah.
Which is, I mean, they get shit wrong all the fucking time.
In
I
any
mean, in sports. I
you
mean,
don't-
football is a floating offside lines. Like, if you see, there's a hard line, sure, defined, but like, it is dependent on where the ball is at the time. It's dependent upon something, whereas in hockey is not dependent on there's a line that a
Right.
player has to cross.
It's easier in
Right.
hockey,
But
for sure.
it's defined. It doesn't change. Its line doesn't move on the field. It is
Right.
always in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
In football, that offside line, even though it's player dependent, can be at the 1 yard line for your team, or it can be for their team, or it can be at the one line on your team. So it does move.
Well, it moves.
It is also
and
moving.
resets.
And it gets called.
No. Well, all right. Well, moving on from soccer, we can agree to say, hey, it's the most popular sport on the planet. I'm fine. There's a lot that
football.
I don't care. Hey, man, I can bitch about football too and the officiating being shitty.
I meant,
and
like,
they
literally like football, soccer, like
whatever. Sure, fuck it all. I don't care. If you want to really give me like a Survivor Sophie's Choice of it, I'm gonna wind up watching hockey and MotoGP. Like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well, if I can
Good choices.
segue, speaking of football, I'll
Please.
mention this briefly, and
If
then
you
Chronic,
can.
you can tell us about your accident if you want.
Actually,
When I set it up, it'll.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you guys saw that San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan has missed all of camp so far. He evidently had a very bad car crash about a month ago, and they just came out like the past week about it. Broken nose, broken ribs, like 50 stitches, major concussion, was hospitalized.
Damn.
And there's been all this talk, and he came out today I'm listening to NFL Network on Sirius XM today, and for some reason he felt like he needed to come out and say, I don't know what all's out there about my car crash, but it was my fault. So he reached for his phone. He was driving, reached for his phone, looked back up. Oh shit! Ran into an SUV.
Oh my goodness.
That was mainly to
Yeah,
set
it
you
does.
up for your story, Chronic.
My story, it didn't jog my memory enough to set me up for my story.
We so Buddha had told us earlier about him dinging his new doors, and that got you to talking
Yeah.
about an old episode of yours.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, now I got it. Now it's coming back. Now it's coming back. Once once you get me firing on all cylinders, the stories are right there.
Yeah. Did you have a good
Yeah.
breakfast this morning?
Just an apple, a golden delicious, and it's very tart. It almost is like a Granny Smith, but not. It's not. It's not quite. It was marketed as a golden delicious. It's yellow, but it's tart. They're fantastic. I wish I had. Sometimes I want to eat 6 of them at once.
I love
So
sweet
that's my
apples.
breakfast.
And AI, you need to ask him what he had for breakfast the day the story happened, not this morning.
Okay, I got it wrong. Okay.
This,
Okay.
this is a good
So this,
point.
yeah, this is like probably what 5, 10 years ago. So he probably remembers what he
No,
had.
this was in Michigan back in high school.
Okay, so even longer.
Yeah, this is yeah, probably 20 plus 30. I'm getting in the 30 years ago range.
Okay,
So
so
let's
you had some
start
sugar
with
pops.
first thing in the morning. Yeah.
No, not sugar pops. It might have been. It was. I mean, it was probably a cereal of some type, but it could have been a Raisin Bran.
Could have been a Raisin Bran.
I
Okay.
was actually no, it wasn't high school. It was after high school. It was right after high school. I think I was framing houses and stuff, and I was working, so it's
No
very
future.
possible I
No
didn't
future in
even
that.
have. Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was, and my boss told me at the time, but he had no idea what he was talking about. Clearly, because I'm fucking. Look at all this stuff I have behind me. So, but yes, so this story, yeah, the accident was Stormy Normie was there at the time. We'd just come back, I believe. I don't remember where we were at. We were partying. I was at the girlfriend at the time in Central Michigan. We're sitting in their driveway on the campus of Central Michigan University, and we were going anywhere. We were home. People were blocking us in and stuff, but it's a college, you know, house. My vehicle gave us the privacy, but the house or anywhere else didn't get us, right? So we're sitting in my vehicle and we're rolling a joint. And something happened, and on the magazine in my lap, all the weed went between the seats and down between the center console, right? And you know, that's always just a waste of
Yeah.
stuff. You don't want to waste it. I was upset, not like super upset, but I was like, son of a bitch, like I was kind of just, so the doors were open. I got out of the vehicle and just kind of turned around and did I was like, son of a bitch, and put my fist into my window, my fixed window on my Ford Ranger. It was a fixed window. And like, I wasn't trying to punch it out. I wasn't trying to hit it hard. It was literally just like, I was like it been I was thinking like whether I'd hit either side of the glass in the frame of the metal. Like I wasn't trying to punch through anything. I was just kind of like a son of a gun, like like hitting your thigh. But apparently, whatever I did, and maybe my momentum didn't match what I was thinking or intended, but I put my hand right through that son of a bitch. I probably still have a few scars where I think I had to get a couple stitches because the glass cut me. That panel of glass, that fixed panel of glass, was $1,800 to replace. $1,800. They said it'd been cheaper to replace a removable panel because of the way they had to form it or attach it. I don't know, whatever. So I was like, fuck it. I can't repair it. It's duct taped up, right? It's winter. This happened in the winter. So I'm driving around, get in my own driveway. We've got my property that my parents had. We had a big stone house and they had a dairy barn. And the driveway curves up around the bottom of the dairy barn and goes up a hill and it's slightly canted towards the dairy barn, right? So I drive up it. We've gotten a snow, it's probably, for everyone, it's Michigan back in the day. So it was probably like October, like when we got a snow, and I was driving up the driveway, and it was enough where, like, in two-wheel drive in my light Ford Ranger, I couldn't make it up the driveway, and I started skidding downhill into towards the barn. And there's a little patch of grass, maybe like 16 feet, maybe less than that, 10 feet wide, 12 feet wide between the driveway and the barn. So I'm like, I'm a teenager or not teenager, I'm like probably 19, 20 maybe. I'm like, I can get out of this, and I'm keep going. I put it in four-wheel drive and try to keep going. But all that happens is I keep sliding downhill towards the barn. Come to find out, my four-wheel drive wasn't working, so I was still only in two-wheel drive. And instead of just leaving the vehicle sitting where it was and waiting until my dad got home to get the tractor or to get his truck and just pull me out, I kept working it and kept going farther and farther backwards. And the grass keeps narrowing and narrowing, narrowing back to the dairy barn, which has a culvert that's like getting like deep. It's like a trench that goes to the side. So my vehicle drops into that trench, scrapes my rear fender all the way against the cinder blocks in the process of getting it out and whatnot and stuff. So again, hey, statute of limitations, we've massaged things and stuff. When we reported it on the incident, it all happened at the same time. It was a incident where like I'd gone off the road in some icy conditions and had scraped into a tree and had also busted out the window and yada yada, and got it all taken care of, paid the deductible. It was Allstate, I think it was. You're in good hands with Allstate. So shout out to them. I love them. You guys did us well, my family well. So,
Did
hey,
insurance
good
fix the
job.
four-wheel drive as well?
No, 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 they didn't. But they didn't need to, and we didn't ask them to. We did that on my own later. That was a whole nother story.
So it's a good insurance company that believes your lies.
Yes, yes, yes. We wove a good tale.
What a good tell. It wasn't that you dug yourself into a situation. It was you slid off the road all at one
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All at once. All at
All right.
once. Yeah.
All right. Well, that works. I don't know. I have to be honest with mine. I'll call my insurance company and be like, look, I fucking, pulled out of a job. I was doing 3 miles an hour and I turned right into their mailbox. It was just crazy. I was parked in the yard with like a little bit of a canter, and the mailbox was right where the front glass meets the thing. So I couldn't see any of it. And I just went and pulled out and, and turned the wheel. And
My
accidents
most
that happen at, yeah, but accidents that happen at like under 100 miles an hour just don't seem worth it.
my most embarrassing one was I was the production manager on a terrible TV show being shot in Charleston. My
Terrible
girlfriend,
TV show.
what? Yeah, it was
You're
called.
not in PR. It's a good thing you never took up PR.
Well, it was horrible, dude. Our lead actor got a review after episode 1. The review in the paper was, "This actor makes walking and talking look difficult." That was the review in the paper, and it was accurate. But
It was
anyway,
Jeez.
accurate. It was
my
accurate.
girlfriend at the time, crazy, crazy, crazy lady. You know the song, "You're a crazy bitch, but you fuck so good, I'm on top of it."
Fuck
Anyway,
Terry.
that was her. Anyway,
Mhm.
she
Mm.
was working for me in the art department.
Redhead? Was she a redhead?
She was not a redhead.
Was she a red? No.
The
All right.
car in question was red. It was a lowrider Mustang. And when I say lowrider, the front bumper was probably 2-3 inches off the ground. Maybe more, but it seemed that low. Anyway, so she's in the art department. She's in charge of the car because the car is being used in the scene. The car was parked in one place and we needed it moved. She's doing like 2 things, and her being my girlfriend, I'm going to help her out. It's not my responsibility. I shouldn't have done it. I'm like, you keep doing your thing. I'll move the car. I got in the car. The bumper got caught on the, what do you call those concrete blocks?
All those little parking, yeah,
Yeah.
little parking
Got
things.
caught on that. And
Yeah.
I hear it getting caught. I'm like, so I just gave it
Ripped
a
it
little more
right off.
gas, ripped the son of
Ripped
a
it
bitch
right
off.
off.
Ripped the son of a bitch off. And everybody's
Yeah.
looking at me. Here I am, the production manager. Everybody's looking at me. I'm like, fuck.
I remember when I was working on the road with CCS. We were in Oxford, Mississippi, and the job was pretty much there were several trades on the site at once, right? So the parking lot was 60-70% of the full most of the time. and we had to pick one of the pickup trucks, one of the work trucks, and we go in, and in the morning we just park, right? But the guy was Tommy who was driving that time. He parked, but he parked like right in front of one of the trades had like a pile of material sitting in the parking lot that they had to like take back. And it was just like some metal, blah, blah, blah. And he parks right, pulls right up to it. And insists that we come out for lunch, we eat our lunch, we at the end of the day, then he goes to get in and he just pulls forward because you can't see it. It's on the ground, right? And just tears all this shit up and then like runs right
Didn't
over
hurt his
these
car,
other
just ruined all
dudes.
the equipment.
Didn't really hurt the pickup truck so much as hurt the other trades,
Uh,
whatever the hell they need. And he's like, "Oh fuck, I totally did that." Yep, yep, it happens. My old roommate in Charlotte did the same thing, like exactly what you're talking about. He went forward over one of those parking lot deals in a car and but it was where you're in a parking lot and there's two of them like close together because the lane, the two lanes, in like a Buick, like a Buick LeSabre or some shit that was not expecting it.
he's lucky it didn't get stuck on the two,
Yeah. So and that's literally like kind of where I was today. If I would have done a fucking lap around my truck, I would have like, yep, don't hit that, but I just got in and I was like, okay, we're out of here. We're done. We were wrapped up and I knew where the driveway was and good Lord. And my truck's pretty small. I bought, I got the smallest truck you can get. I don't have one of these fucking monster
I
trucks, but it
I
happens. So.
saw I or not saw, I was talking to, like, years ago at doing the remodel and shit, and the guy was there doing the cable and stuff, one of them AT&T people. I don't know who he was with, AT&T, but he came out and they put cones in front of his truck, just one cone in front of his truck, cone in back of his truck. And I don't know why I asked him about it. I don't know how it came up in conversation, but I remember that he said, he goes, I always have to pick up the cone behind my truck, and I always
Smart.
have to pick up the cone in front of my trucks. And I always have to then look around and see what's there. And of course, I don't do it. I didn't, if I've hit plenty of shit myself, So, but you're right about that. And I've never thought about it until then, but that's why he did it. And that's why when you see those commercial trucks that have those cones on the front and why they set them down and stuff, because it creates that habit that you
Yep.
have to look, that we all take for granted. All of us, I take for granted,
Yep.
shit.
Well, I was
Hey,
staying at an Airbnb place in Kentucky, and the guy who owned the house, so there were two houses. The house he lived in was to the right, and the Airbnb was just to the left, separated only by a driveway. And he had said in his welcome, here's your access information. Please make sure you pull all the way up because it's a shared driveway. Make sure you pull all the way up to the left side of the driveway up to the cone. He had a cone there. He said, the right side of the driveway, we're coming and going all day, and just to be safe. So he was very careful. One day I didn't pull all the way up, and I got a knock on the door. Dude's like, man, I hit your car. I was like, oh, shit. And I went out there, and the next day, the homeowner's like, he just looked at me like, dude, I told you to pull up all the way. But he still paid me for it.
Oh,
oh,
yep.
ouch.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes. And yeah, some of those Airbnb hosts, man, they can have some weird requests and rules. I will say, as someone who's been around, the country working in a few, there's some real great hosts, there's some real shady hosts, and there's some real
Yeah.
fucking curious hosts. We had a lady in Michigan, man. She tried to like get like all the extra money or whatever, saying we were smoking in the house. Like after we left, she went through the trash and took cigarette butts and roaches and like put them in the house and like snapped pictures. And like, bitch, no, we smoke all day long. But we don't smoke in the fucking house. Like,
You tried to keep
No,
your deposit?
we're not animals.
yeah. She was trying to get the extra whatever. I mean, there's some fucking shady hosts out there, and
Did
it's just,
Airbnb take your side on that? Did it reach arbitration with Airbnb?
I don't think it got to that. Now there were some legitimate times out on the road where some of the fellas did some actual damage or did some shit that we probably lost deposits over. I'm sure, probably less than a handful of times, but
It can happen.
it can happen,
It can happen.
So it can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, well, well,
Oh,
Well, I had
huh?
mentioned I had a couple of stories to tell tonight. I'm gonna tell one. So was it last night or the night before? Like Dawn wakes me up like while in the middle of the night, right? Now, just for point of reference, I'm a pretty good sleeper. Like when I'm out, I'm out. Like, it used to be like it would take a fucking I'd sleep through a tornado. When I was, my ex-wife, I slept through high coyotes in the backyard. I don't hear shit. Like if I'm out, I'm out. So she wakes me up, Dawn wakes me up in the middle of the night, and she's like, I guess one of the alarms is going off. Like it's almost like the smoke alarm, carbon monoxide, one of those beepy beeps. So whatever. And I come to and I hear this little beep, and then, I'm kind of giving her the what the hell do you want me to do about it thing. And I go back to sleep. And then in the morning, we talk about it. And she said apparently the alarm went off like 3 times throughout the night, right? And I didn't say it to her, but but my whole thing was like, okay, I don't understand women's expectations at that moment. Like, right? Like, so here's the thing. Okay, I don't care if it's a fucking smoke alarm. I don't care if it's a pack of gangbangers busting down the door. Like, why are you waking me up to die? Like, let me fucking die in my sleep. Like, right? I was peaceful. Like, right? Like, and now it just seems kind of fucking cruel to wake somebody up to face their fucking demise if you have it like that. Like, right? If the fucking house burns down, if it's on fire, sure, shake me, let's get the hell out. All good, no problem. But literally, if there's like a pack of marauders at the door, let them kill me in my sleep. For the love of fuck, like have some respect. Like, what am I mean, if you think like in some miraculous way that you're going to shake me and my spidey sense is going to kick in and I'm going to do something, like, bitch, it takes me 2 cups of coffee and a bowl to fucking open my eyes in the morning. Like, this is not going to happen. Like, right. So I tell this story as a, what the hell are people thinking when they wake somebody up in the middle of the night to be like, hey, there's a noise. Okay. Fuck you want me to do about it? Like,
Figure it out, sleuth.
like, right. You're the light sleeper that's up all night anyway. Go check it out. Like, right. I'm the one over here enjoying myself. Like, in case you didn't. So, yeah.
I would say I would never wake somebody up to go check out a noise. I would check if it woke me up, I would check it out myself.
That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, it's common.
I couldn't even tell
I
where it
might
was. Like, I couldn't tell where it was coming from. Then this, she tells me, "Oh, it was downstairs." Like, all right, great. I'll believe anything you tell me, man. But anyway, that's the end of that story. Like, think before you fucking wake people up. Like, what do you expect? Like, what is your expectation? What do you expect them to do? And you're like, there's a noise,
Well,
and
my
let people
favorite is
let,
when women scream at something. Like, what good does screaming do? Screaming just distracts me from doing something about it because now I'm focused on your screaming. When you know what I'm saying? What good does screaming do?
well, I mean, I guess it could technically scare somebody off, like at least a small animal. If it's a mouse will run
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
hope.
yeah.
That's the best I can do on screaming. Yeah, because I can.
I don't if I see a spider, not a small spider, but like, like, and depending on the circumstance of where it's at and stuff, like I might give out a small scream or scream.
You
I mean,
hurt me, crying. That
yell.
hurts me. Yeah.
If I get scared by a snake,
Snakes.
yeah, if I get scared by a snake, you're gonna think a 7-year-old girl just got murdered.
Yep. I've heard it. I've seen it.
He's heard it from the bicycle in front of me. He said snake, and I said don't tell me. Like,
Yep. Just don't.
just
Yeah.
let me go. Because if it's a
Yeah.
copperhead and I'm colorblind, I can't fucking pick out a brown snake in the woods in a split second on a mountain bike. Now, those black and white striped ones, sure, they're pretty easy to see. But anything that's like meant to blend into the woods, all I have to do, I have to stay on 2 wheels and not fall over, because otherwise I'm gonna die by snake bite. See, I know me. Like, I know
Yeah.
how I am. And I do remember that we were down at BYT, and man, there were snakes all over that fucking day. Jesus, they
They
were
were out.
all over the place.
Snakes and poison ivy. Shout out to the BYT. That's all it had. Great times,
My God.
poison ivy, and snakes
What is BYT?
Yep.
in that order.
Backyard trail.
Backyard.
Yeah, backyard trail. And I just remember you even said copperhead, and I was like, I can't see that. Fuck! Like, don't tell me. I even like picked my legs up off my bike, thinking that's gonna help. Like, how you gonna pedal now, dipshit?
Right. It might have been though. Like, yeah, having your legs up. Shit. Yeah, all would have done was strike it. They would strike
Yeah,
low.
sure. So
All right, Buddha, whose color vision is worse, yours or mine? I remember like day one down at Full Sail,
okay.
Gizmo and I were driving to the grocery store. I think I was driving. I'm driving, and Gizmo points out the oranges are blossoming on the tree, or whatever phrase. And I look, and he sees me looking. He goes, dude, the oranges on the trees? And I look. I saw the round shapes first. And then my brain said, the round things are orange. Then I saw the orange color.
Yeah, different. So were they blending into the leaves for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So orange and green there. So that makes sense to me.
I want to say they were just coming in, so they weren't
Sure.
like bright orange yet, maybe.
No, but I've told people
The yellowy
before.
then, right?
I'd say, yeah. And so yellows and greens for sure blend together for me.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
people always want to, some explanation or something about colorblindness. So I'm like, sometimes really healthy green grass can look orange. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like sometimes the grass is orange.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, yours might be worse than
Fucking
mine.
nuts.
Okay.
So, hey, man, like I took all those tests when I was a kid. It was like, what number do you see? Did you have to do those tests, AI?
Oh, yeah.
We did. My favorite color growing up, this is when my parents realized it. My favorite color was black.
Yeah,
which
mine
is
pretty much too.
Is black's not a color, or it's all colors? Which is
all color.
All the
all
colors.
Black is the combination of all color. White is the absence.
White is
of
the
all
absence of color, right?
Color. Yes, that's the way I remember it. Yeah, you remember our lighting instructor at Full Sail? Remember that dude
I
that
was
used to
thinking
ride
about
around
the
on
class, but I can't picture the instructor.
Okay, maybe this will help. He rode a little Honda motorcycle. It was little. It was like 350, 450. But this little fucking bike had every goddamn piece of chrome you could buy for it. He had every bolt-on, add-on, stick-on you could buy for this bike. But I just remember him when we took our lighting class. He's like, "You're never lighting a scene. You're just removing the darkness." He was all philosophical about it.
I don't remember that, but okay,
Yeah,
cool.
So yeah, so that was pretty cool. Oddly enough, even though I'm colorblind, I was always really good at lighting and color lighting accents. Like I did a lot of corporate film where I would put we'd have like a blank wall and I would throw a little splash of color. Like I was really good at that, and I'm really really good at contrast. Right. But I just don't
That
know the
makes
colors.
sense. The contrast skill makes sense because your vision needs heavy contrast.
And I've helped a lot of clients on jobs and remodels and additions, things like that, pick out and choose colors and do what,
Okay.
and I don't have to know them, but I just personally enjoy contrast. So I don't like two things that are like pretty similar next to each other. Like
Instead of
my
naming the
favorite
colors,
ones,
instead of saying go with the whatever green, you go with that color and that. You don't name them. You just
or let's
point
just
to the
get
colors.
darker. Let's just get in another field. Let's get away from this. Let's get something that complements it. Again? Or am I doing it again?
Damn it.
I'm not
We're
getting
losing you
anything
again.
here now. Damn it. Wow, man. This is fucking crazy today. And it's reconnecting.
Painful, huh?
Trying to reconnect. I don't
Painful
understand
tonight.
it. Yeah, tonight
Pulling
is a little
teeth.
pain. Yeah, tonight's a little painful. And if I didn't restart my computer tonight because I was napping and I was running late, so that could be on me. I've been kind of putting a bunch of shit, doing a lot of things without restarting. You guys got me now? Nope, still not there.
Better. Not perfect,
Better.
but better.
A little bit, but
it's beautiful over here too. That's what's funny.
well,
Anyway,
yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, that's good.
so yeah.
I'm satisfied.
So hopefully once it all
Your playback
downloads,
instead of 30 frames looks more like 25 frames, maybe.
I gotcha. Well, hopefully the
Kinda.
Riverside
There we go.
is downloading everything and it'll all come out in the wash. So we'll see. But that one, I guess it's on me tonight for not restarting and being
You look good
responsible.
now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, what was I? What was I? Yeah, like the contrast and stuff in the colors, like that part. I'm really good at. One of my most my favorite jobs was I opened up this kitchen. These people like Jesus Christ, they took out all the walls and we put in like a 25-foot steel beam in their kitchen, right? And when it came down to it, they had created this custom stain color, but they just liked the stain. And they had like, back then the barn doors were pretty new at the time before everybody had fucking barn doors. So they wanted to do the barn door and this stain and blah, blah, blah. So I did this thing, like I came up with, okay, let's take the same stain color that you picked out. You guys created this, right? And we're going to do all the faces, like on the beam of the door and everything in this stain color in matte finish, right? And then we're going to do all the trim around the beam and the door in the same color in a high gloss. And dude, it's amazing. That was one of my glamour shots from project manager.
Nice.
But I've done some serious high end shit and made great suggestions that help the homeowners, and they never knew I was colorblind
Nice.
because hey, they don't need to know. Like I will tell them if they ask me a question, I'm like, I can't see that. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But usually they're just looking for suggestions, right? And I was like, well, if you're doing this here, then you might want to go like do a darker, blah blah blah. Or I'll just text Dawn because she's the color expert in the family. She spent decades doing color work for Redken.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, she's a color expert and I'm color blind. So that's why we
Balance, baby. Balance.
got to balance that shit out. Balance that shit out. I have another story if my internet will allow me.
Let's try it.
There it goes.
This was
Let me grab un biro.
un bureau. I don't
Yeah.
think that's accurate at all.
That's
That was
Bolivian.
That's Bolivian.
I'm pretty sure it's Bolivian.
Bolivian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oblivion.
Oblivion. You got bureau.
Maybe that's what I meant. It was oblivion.
You got bureau there, gringo.
Say,
Speaking of our Latin brothers, man, I gotta just say, I'm getting back into being in business for myself, and I'm bidding some jobs, and I'm needing a few trades. So I'm going through my phone, and like my phone, what I typically do when and I've got so many of I probably have solidly 22 wands in my phone, like, right, for real, like. And what I always do when I meet people in the business is I'll put their name, and usually you only get the first name. But then I'll either put their company or what they do, like, right, in their last name. And so this dude Luis, who works for, when I knew him, he worked for SGV Painting and Drywall, right? The guy was and I need some drywall and paint work done. So I reach out, I text the last number I got for Luis. Well, I haven't talked to Luis in probably 2 or 3 years, right? And I get back this like, okay, hey buddy, how's it going? Kind of text, sure, we'll take a look at this. And I'm like, I'm 4 or 5 exchanges into this conversation where the guy goes, hey, by the way, I'm not Luis. Luis works for this other company. I got his phone and I'll give you his number. Like, and I'm like, I love you all. Like, I love Latinos so much. Like,
He was just brokering the deal without any.
and he had Luis's old phone, like, or phone number, right? So this is the number I had for Luis 2-3 years ago. And then Juan's like, hey, I'll put you in touch with Luis. Things got shaken up. I'm like, okay, just tell me who does the paint, who does the drywall, and if you do anything else, so I can put you in my Rolodex. But that is the way with the Latin culture that I've noticed. Like when we framed, they were so self-governing and so awesome that like if one dude needed a day off, or shit, sometimes a guy would go get a whole totally different job, right? He'd be like, he would quit. And you wouldn't even know it because he would come in and he'd be like, yo, buddy, I got a different job, but this guy here, he's going to replace me. He's good. I'm like, all right, fine. I write one check. I don't give a fuck. Like, right.
yeah.
So
They found their own replacement. That's very unusual
cool
in our world.
That is cool though.
Yeah, just massive shout out to the Latin community here in Charlotte, in general and in construction specifically. I got to watch them come in and for the last 30 years. So we love them. So where was I going? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's the story I was going to tell. That's the story I was going to tell. All right. Last Wednesday. So, what's today? Today's Tuesday, right? Okay. So I think it was Wednesday. I finish up a job, right? Lady gives me a check. I got nothing to do the next day. I got to pay some bills. So I'm like, all right, tomorrow morning, I'm getting up. I'm going to her bank, cashing the check. I'm putting cash in my bank so I can everything will be super simple. I'm going to pay these bills, right? So I do that. I drive to Gastonia. I'm having like the best morning ever. Driving over, singing, like, fuck, it's like Bambi in my world. Like, there's like animated birds flying around. Like, it is a great goddamn morning. Go do my thing, cash check, go back to my bank. I was like, do I want to go in the bank or do I just want to go through the drive-thru? I don't want to get out of my truck. I'm having a good time. Go through the drive-thru, deposit my cash. I put 11 $100 bills in the machine. Okay. And they're all brand new crisp. They haven't even been folded, right? So I put them in, it does the thing, it comes back and it opens the thing up and there's one bill. And it says we cannot accept this. Sometimes like it just can't read it. Sometimes it got a crease in them, whatever, right? So I was like, fine. I tried to reset it a time or two and it just doesn't take. So I just grab it. It's like, fine. And then the door just stays open. It's just sitting there like, God damn it. So then I try to like put my fingers in it to register. Like, I don't know how these things work. If they're like motion detected or if you got to touch them in the right spot. It's like, I don't know if it's a fucking clitoris or what.
So you're not dealing with a teller. You're just doing the machine.
I am at the ATM around
ATM.
back at the outside drive-through of my nearest local branch. Right. And I've never really had any issues. I've deposited cash at machines. Fuck, you take a picture of a check and it's available, right? It's like it's all good. So I've never really had any issues. I've never had anything to really worry about. But like I said, I put in 11 bills. It kicked one back, so I'm fine. I'm like, all right, so it's just gonna do this, and I'll wait. But the door stays open. That not the door, but that mouth. Now these things are sideways. You don't feed the bills in this way. You have to lay them in, this way. It's like a whole tray now. How they have it. But
it's more difficult to do. I feel like
it totally is. They really went fuck this one up. So the door just stays open, and I'm just sitting there in my truck. This was before I fucking ran into a mailbox and a post, and it's like a minute and a half, like 2 minutes, right? And then finally the door like closes shut and it goes back into its RoboCop position, and then this fucking comes up on the screen like your transaction cannot be processed. It, like, throws me like a bone, like that even says like, but don't worry, your money's safe. And I'm like, well, now I'm very worried.
that's the least the thing that I am.
Now I'm very worried. So I immediately just like pull around to the front of the building. It spits me out a little receipt. Like, it spits me out a piece of paper. I didn't even look at it at that point. I just grabbed the fucking thing and I'm like, I'm going to talk to a motherfucker now. Like, right? So I pull around the front of the building and I go in, and it's a small local branch, not a lot of activity. Actually, there's no activity. And there's no one that there's the lady that just goes, I come up to the front and she goes, I'll be with you in 1 second, sir. And then she comes over and what can I help you with? And I'm like, yeah. So I just put 11 bills in that machine. It kicked back one, kept 10, and gave me this piece of paper. Like, it says blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, you need to call the number and submit a claim. And the kid next to her in the other booth goes, oh yeah, this happens all the time, which doesn't make me feel good in any kind of way. He's like, yeah, it usually takes about a day or so and they'll get you your money back. And I'm like, anyway,
cash.
So I go out of the branch, I get back in my truck, and I immediately get on the phone with the number that I have to call to now file a claim to dispute what the fuck just happened in my world. Like, right? I now have to dispute. I have to file a claim. This is how the world works now, right? Something happens, and all the responsibility's on you to prove that it fucking happened. So I call the number, and let's just say Gupta from the call center halfway around the world was very, very nice, and she was very helpful, and she took all my information. But what the fuck is she gonna do? Like, right? And she even bumped me up one level to the supervisor, whatever that means, the person sitting beside her. And like, they take all this information, and then it's like, yes, sir, we have all your information. Your claim is, your dispute has been filed. It'll take up to 5 business days and this and that. And I'm like, is this fucking happening right now? Like, for real? Like,
It
really?
is.
And I was telling this story to my mom and my aunt this morning. I said, like, I have so many legitimate reasons to believe I'm crazy. I don't need people making shit up. Like, right? Like,
I mean, you would have been so much better to deposit the check at your bank and wait a few days.
absolutely, I would have done anything would have been better than what actually happened. They gave me my money back. See, that happened last Wednesday. They gave me my money back yesterday. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, so my thought was, because Dawn, she's like all over this shit. She's like, you got to call, you got to raise a stink. I'm like, who the fuck you going to call? The ATMs are no longer managed by the branches. Like, right, that's a separate entity of the bigger conglomerate, right? So she gets online and she's like, tries to find out what actually has to happen now. And this is where I got real fucking suspicious, because you can have all your systems and processes or whatever, but I know how fucking human beings operate. Right? And she's like, oh yeah, so what's going to happen is someone's going to have to come out, and they're going to go through the machine, and they're going to have to verify this. And that's where I'm like, now, does that person wear a body cam? Are they just going to say that there was a fucking $1,000 in cash in this machine, or are they going to put it in their goddamn pocket?
They are. Yeah.
This is where I start like having a lot of questions, because if we're just going to leave it up to the machines, I actually trust them a little more than humans when it comes to counting cash. Like,
Definitely.
Cash. Okay.
just saying, like, yeah, just in that instance, but unless they're coming out there with a fucking camera on their chest with time code that I can see the entire way through, if you tried to tell me that my money wasn't in there, we're going to have a real fucking problem. But then what do? All you're doing is like, you're like shaking your stick at the fucking BB&T or the, Bank of America or whoever the fuck it is. So
That's what it feels like,
and like I said,
That's what
all
it
the
feels like.
languaging is like, oh, we have your claim, we have your dispute. I'm like, I'm not disputing anything. I was at your machine, and your goddamn thing ate my cash. Like, right? Go to the tape. Like, right?
You know?
I would think, if anything, the dispute should be on your end that I didn't put it in there.
Right? Yeah, you got to prove that I didn't put that $1,000 in there. The
Right.
$1,100 in there.
It was
Like,
1,000. They kicked back the one, so I didn't even try.
gotcha. I'm
So
sorry.
it was
Yeah.
1,000, but still, I was like, the languaging of it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when I got divorced. When Heather and I were married and we got divorced, we did it ourselves. We did it ourselves. And immediately when you start filing the paperwork for a divorce, the language is you versus them, right? And I was like, nah, we're not trying to do that. We're just we're both cool people. We just don't want to be together anymore. And it's like, no. And then the same thing was like, all right, now you have a dispute with your bank. I'm like, I don't. I tried to put in $1,000 and y'all fucking gobbled it up. Like, I don't know that y'all know what these words mean. Like,
I don't want this to be like a fucking, like, just I'm complaining about shit. But like, I was just dealing with that fucking shit with the firm, that pay company, where you can buy stuff online and pay through a firm. And one of my payments was coming due, but my debit card had been stolen, or the number had been stolen or whatever, right? So, and I'd reported it on Friday. On Monday, my Affirm payment was due, but it was due auto pay on that debit card. So I tried to swap out from that debit card to something else, and they kept kicking it back. And so I tried calling them and saying, look, I don't have this debit card. I do want to make this payment, but you won't let me. And they said, well, do this, do that. And I said, I can't. And they were like, and none of it is through a person. It's all through an AI chat service. And they're like, well, add your checking account. I'm like, I did add my checking account. It still won't accept it. Well, then your type of account is not authorized to make payments on this type. And I'm like, I will pay off the entire balance today. I just don't want to make a late payment. So anyway, that's the fucking, and like, I want to give you my money, and they wouldn't take it.
How was that
They would not
resolved?
take it. It's still unresolved.
Jesus.
So you might owe a penalty?
they say there are no late fees or penalties, but I missed a payment.
Yeah.
Like,
So
so I
your
don't
credit's going to be
understand how
dinged.
that doesn't affect me somehow. Either somehow am I borrowing with them or somehow, like, I don't know, but somehow it affects me.
And
And so that's
even
why I had to go through the hoops to make sure that there's context and text things saying like, "Look, I want to pay you. I'm trying to pay you. Here's my money. You won't let me." And they're like, "Well, just we'll set up a reminder to pay." And I'm like, "I don't need a reminder. I know I want to pay you now." I said, "I just don't have. You need a debit card. In my debit card, I don't have that number because it was stolen on Friday, and on Monday, I don't have that debit card number to replace." So yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's just funny. It's ridiculous what you gotta
Well,
do.
it's ridiculous also because, okay, let's just say they charge you a late fee. And they charge you what, 30 to 40 bucks on a late fee. And now you have to fucking jump through hoops. You have to put in all the fucking time. You have to burn all the fucking calories to get that $40 back. What's your goddamn time worth?
Yeah,
Like, right?
more than 40.
More than 40 bucks an hour. Like, so
Well, not only that, but you've also got to worry about the credit report, the ding on your credit report.
that's what I'm saying. Like the minute anything happens now, the companies, the corporations, the entities, they are not responsible for shit. All the onus is on you. All the action is on you. You're the one that has to do everything. I had one, like, I got pissed off because our HVAC, our upstairs unit stopped working. Turned out it was just we needed batteries in the thermostat. But anyway, when you go online to, and that's not for us to fucking do. Like, we rent, so
Sure.
like,
Yep,
and I
absolutely. No,
being
absolutely.
being a contractor, I came to terms a long time ago with I ain't doing shit in this house because I fucking rent. The minute I touch something, I own it. So I will call them every goddamn time, and I will not tell them what I do for a living. Like, never.
100% in rent. 100% as a renter.
Yep.
100%. Yep.
So this shit goes out, and I go on like the portal, like wherever our property management company is, right? To file the report, to file the claim. And the minute you click that goddamn button, they're putting me to work. All right, go get the picture of this. Go get this and this. I'm like, no, 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 no. It used to be, and I'm fine sounding like the old fucking fuddy duddy anymore. I don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
used to be, you made a fucking phone call, somebody came out and fixed your shit. You didn't have to spend another half a goddamn day putting things together so that they knew what the hell was happening. You know where I'm at. You should already have a fucking picture of the label on the HVAC units filed with your company. You should know exactly what units are at this house. You should know exactly what thermostats are here. That's kind of your job as property managers. So, but the style and the way things work with the AI and now this computer, like everything, the minute you file a claim, it's all on you to prove it. So
Yeah, you've got
Well, I
to
have
give them the evidence to make your case for you. And if you can't do it, then it's better for them because you couldn't make the case and they don't have to do anything.
I had got to the
No.
point where I was pretty chill. You know, I had some anxiety about that $1,000 because anything can happen, right? So, but I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till Monday, and if nothing, and I kind of got to the point where I get that they do their work. You know, it makes sense for the banks to sub out their work, and the person that I was talking to when it actually happened was most likely halfway around the world. And I'm not gonna try to like take it out on that person. I'm not gonna yell at that person. What the fuck do they care? Like, right? All they're gonna do is tolerate it anyway. But what I was going to do was go up to my local branch and just walk up to the counter and ask to talk to the manager. Like, the reason I'm here is because I still believe in community. This is the closest branch to my house. I don't have any resolution, so you're just going to have to fucking listen to me for about 20 minutes. Like, so I'm going to bitch and you're going
I
to have to
like that
fucking listen
approach.
to it.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do? This is what happened. This is blah blah blah, and the only reason I'm in your office is because you're the guy closest to my house. Like, and sometimes shit should still operate that way.
Yep. And shit should always operate that way. It feels like it operates that way in my world, business world, you know.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, customers come right up to your face with their complaints, don't they?
there's no buffer. There is no buffer at all. There's not even like a window or a door or some type of it's right to my their breath, we're
Yeah.
touching, we're exchanging fluids almost at this
Yep.
point. Like through the just we're talking. This is real. So yeah, I wish I had a buffer. You
And
fucking CEOs
and a
and
lot of
companies.
times it's like you're thinking in your head, look, I ain't your husband or your fucking kids. You might want to drop some of that goddamn bass out of your voice. Like,
Yeah.
You don't
You know,
talk to me like this.
I will walk.
I
Well,
will
fucking,
walk.
I'll burn bridges.
I,
I'll burn bridges. I'll fucking walk.
I will pack my shit and get off your property right now. You can
You know,
finish this motherfucker.
I'm very reasonable. I will fix whatever problem we have. And I fully take responsibility for my mistakes. But
So,
let's resolve this like calm adults. Like, hold on. So anyway, yeah, but fuck them.
so that's my stories for the week. I
Well,
was pretty
I have a
flabbergasted by that one.
I've got one positive AI experience, and then I'll counter with another negative AI
Yeah,
experience.
you had all kind of stuff. You were throwing all sorts of shit you want to talk
Yeah,
about. Let's hear it.
I'll bring in one of them in, but the positive experience I did not mention to you. I can't remember what I was reading. I think it was regarding horse racing. I think I was reading an article on horse racing, and there was a weird link. It just looked out of place or whatever, and I wanted to read more. And it's one of those, as soon as I click it, like even before I actually clicked it, I was like, no, don't click it. Oh shit, too late. And it immediately, I'm like, oh fuck. So immediately opened like a virus, and I shut everything down. I mean, Edge. It was a virus within Edge,
What's Ed?
not on
Wait,
my
wait.
hard drive.
Were you searching edging?
A gentleman does not tell. But
If you want to fuck hot grannies in your area,
so I'm like, I can't use Edge anymore. Edge is not useful. And
what
up
is
in the
Edge? I don't even know what Edge is. What the hell is Edge?
browser.
Oh, okay.
Is it Microsoft Edge? I think. Is that anyway? That's the browser.
Wow, you use
Might be.
Microsoft.
That
I don't
makes
know.
sense.
I
Yeah.
try to avoid Microsoft products.
And up in the very top right corner, where your X is to close shit, there's the big pop-up virus. So I can't close anything. So I go to Copilot, which is the AI that I use. I'm like, hey, talk to me, dude. What can I do? And I went back and forth with Copilot. Copilot's like, not to worry, David. Let's try this. So I try that. I'm like, Copilot, it didn't work. Okay, thank you. That means this and this. So let's try this instead. Well, this went on for, I'm going to say, an hour. And every time we got a little closer, finally, Copilot talked me through it, and I was able to get rid of the virus on myself without having to go to a computer doctor. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, AI is actually useful for something now.
Let me ask you this then, because I have kind of a secondary story. It's not my story, but someone told me this week. How long would that have taken if you would have had a human on the phone as opposed to AI?
A tenth of the time, maybe.
Okay. So that's kind of what I was getting at. So my
But
guitar
no charge.
instructor, he
But
was
you're
like,
not paying anybody. I didn't pay anybody.
That's kind of irrelevant to this point because with
Okay.
customer service, he wouldn't have been paying anyway. But anyway, my guitar instructor this week, he was like, we have like a 6:30 or 7. It was like 6:30 on Thursday, right? But then he was texting, hey, I'm going to be late, this and that. And a lot of times if he has like 4 or 5 lessons in a row, they do drift. And if I'm one of the last ones, it's not out of the ordinary for him to be 15 minutes late. So, but then he's like, I have to cancel. And then he's like, oh no, I got it, this and that. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And when we got online, he was dealing with AI trying to like upgrade or deal with some of his software. Now he does a lot of like high end, let's say audio recording, probably mastering, editing, things like that, so, and he's very in tune with, his software and his updates. But when he came on, he was just he was still shaking because he had been dealing with AI for 3 hours, like, right. And it's like, but he, inside of the process, he had to restart his computer several times. And each time he did, he lost the connection with the AI. So he had to start over. So he's like, what would have taken 25 minutes with a human being on the other end of the phone took 3 fucking hours. Like, right. But it didn't cost that company 3 hours of fucking, human time, did it? So,
but it did cost, or maybe not, but like it did cost them water resources and electrical for cooling and power and this and that.
Yeah,
but I guess that's what they're selling here at this point, right?
At the rates they're getting, let's do the math then. Let's say that you had a human on the phone for 30 minutes, a half an hour, and they make $20 an hour. $25 an hour, right? Do that math versus pennies on the dollar for fucking water because they make those deals with the cities coming in. Like, and like I said, who's burning the goddamn calories? We are.
Yeah. Right.
Who's
Sure.
footing the fucking bill for AI in every goddamn way? We are. Like,
We are.
they are not making a great case that we should love this shit. I'm sorry.
Speaking of which,
Get it, baby. Get it. I
Yeah.
just set you up, man. I just fucking
and,
tee you up. Get it.
and this was the one I mentioned. I think you said you didn't have weird news of the week. This,
I pulled up some headlines. Like, I don't know. I went into a fucking nap. Apparently, hitting my truck today just tore my fucking head up. Like, I was mad about that shit.
well, if you want, we'll segue into the weird news of the week with this headline.
Do it.
OpenAI says its technology on its own hacked another AI company.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, we've seen all the movies,
The
you dumb
Terminator has
motherfuckers.
begun. Yes.
I
Skynet.
was like, Sarah Connors told us that when Skynet goes rogue, this shit happens. Like, we know
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
I
It's
mean,
creepy.
damn.
It's
But
so it's too on goddamn script. Like it's like you couldn't write this because it's already been written. You would be charged with plagiarism at this point.
well, isn't that like it's not life mimicking art, I guess, or it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's
Yeah.
going it's kind of like with Jules Verne and all those, George Orwell and all this shit. Like it kind of we is it because somebody imagined it and put it in the zeitgeist that we have worked our way towards that, or
We
was it just
willed it
coming that
into
way or is
existence,
this
basically.
coincidental that we yeah,
Well, for
or is it
me,
like I said coincidental?
I don't think it's coincidental. I think a lot of the religions and the doomsdayers, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think the world's going to end, then you kind of have to do everything you can to make sure it ends.
Yeah, but what about like I mean, but the way in which it ends is the specificity of like we're generating, and historically even in like I'm not trying to go doomsday with it, right, per se, but like which was the Terminator thing and that stuff was kind of doomsday, but you could say there's a way out of it. But like with the Jules Verne's and like the stuff that was from the early 20th century where they were talking about like, space races and different things like which wasn't doomsday, but now has sort of come to pass, like it's it I don't know. I'm just saying like it's with taking away the doomsday aspect of it, it's interesting to see how literature and the way people's thoughts and the way people think of what might happen in the future. And then when that of all the possibilities that could happen. And that's why I'm saying coincidental is because like it's basically people coming up with random ideas of what could happen. But then the ones that do happen, we're like, oh wow, that person thought of it. And maybe it's just random or like wild, but it's still crazy that somebody thought of something that actually came to pass because of all the things that could happen in
I
the
think
future.
I don't. For
Yeah.
me, I don't know if it's so random. Like good writers and good, people that can kind of see those kinds of things. I just kind of, I think in my
Yeah.
brain, they see the trends and then they extrapolate it out to the nth degree. Like, what could happen if like some like I don't know. Let's just say that like for whatever retarded reason, people decided that the Earth needed a trillionaire who was mentally, handicapped and had an ego. Like, I mean, what would that look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. You
Yeah.
know, what would happen if like a third of the world didn't have water? Like, what would that look like? So then I don't know. That's how like AI. We've both done a lot of creative writing. That's kind of how I tend to write. I'll put like just a goofy scenario and like, okay, you got this character, this character, this character. Here's the situation. Turn them loose. And now what happens? And I feel like that's kind of where we're at in the world. We're like, we've released our first unhinged trillionaire on the planet, and
Maybe it's just that there's been more like the ability for people to put out their ideas or this has been becoming more popular because like it just doesn't seem that there were and again I don't read all the books back from back then or whatever. It just seems like there were less like revolutionary idea. I mean like stuff like space travel and like submarines and like with like wasn't there like we're like shrinking down journey to the center of the earth and stuff like different things like that where like again, and you're 100% right. There are the people that wrote those books, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or whatever, like the people that wrote those books had a awareness of technologies and where those technologies could take us. It's just amazing because like we all have the awareness of those same technologies. A few per small portion of us can actually extrapolate correctly where those things could take us. And like, and I say correctly, it's almost like predicting the NCAA tournament, right? Like who knows who knows who's going to win that, but and nobody ever fucking predicts that thing, right? Which is, but like somehow people make up literary stories. And so I'm just wondering, is it put in the zeitgeist? If someone in the past creates this idea and then gives somebody the seed in their mind, like maybe this is possible, and then they don't even know that it's not, they just heard that it's possible, and then that just somebody in the past seeding the idea creates then that someone in the future says, well, maybe that's possible and takes and runs with it. And then in the future down the road, that creates the happening, right?
I can see
And
something like that.
I don't know.
Well, to me, like what I'm hearing inside of that is like, well, there's always going to be gifted people or people who think quote unquote outside the box. Now, you mentioned like Mary Shelley Frankenstein. I don't. That's a good example, but it's not a. I don't think that's a technological example. Like Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde. Those are psychological. Those are personal stories that are getting told in a fantastical way, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
I would make a counterpoint, but I'll let you keep going. Yeah.
and just to say like, and then somebody takes that idea, like right, somebody takes like Mary Shelley writes Frankenstein, and then somebody takes Jules Verne reads Frankenstein, and he writes his shit, and then whoever else reads Jules Verne, and they, it's there's that thread of people who experience other people's work and other things that create this work. But I think trying to get to like what we were talking about, like in like the Skynet, like the like that kind of shit, like and if you would, I would say like when we go more towards like the George Orwell, like these people who were writing about futures that were dystopian, right? Like Frankenstein, all that stuff. It's not really dystopian. It's a horror story. Blah blah blah. You can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so then we got into more of this dystopia, but something had to happen. To your point, to where people are like, all right, what would it look like if society just went down the shitter? And then all those writers like took whatever they thought it was going to look like. And Orwell's like, okay, this is the end degree. This is what happens when governments have too much power. And, you know, Hunter Thompson wrote his kind of stuff. Well, his stuff wasn't exactly novels, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. No, for sure.
and
Yeah.
inside of fascist regimes, you have to write your shit as parody or pseudo whatever, or they'll fucking kill you. Like they ain't playing. Like
Nope.
for
Nope.
God's sakes, there was a time where if you played like if you put certain notes, if you were a musical composer and you put like 3 or 4 notes in your shit, you were ostracized, hanged, you were burned at the stake. Like they were the devil's notes, man.
Devil's notes. Interesting.
It turns out it's kind of like the notes that make the blues scale real sexy.
Ah, of course. Let's
Yeah.
getting that groove on,
Getting that
baby.
groove on it. Church wasn't about that, but like it's so great. Like I love
They
taking
wanted
my
to keep it for themselves and the altar boys.
right. Oh, I had to go there.
I did.
So I
Sorry, it's still out there now. They got the fucking Baptists doing it now. Have you seen that?
they were hiding it.
Elaborate.
Yeah, the Baptists have been doing the same shit the Catholics were doing. Fucking maneuvering fucking pedophile priests around their fucking precincts and stuff instead of
Yeah.
firing. So same. It just which before it was the Catholics, now it's fucking apparently it's all of them, or at least the Baptist, which whatever. So don't mean to go, but I'm just saying.
Little detour here,
Just
but all
sad.
right, let's talk about pedophilia. All right. So
Right? Yeah.
no, that's it's every other day. It's like this staunch Republican who was pro family and anti gay was diddling little people. I'm like,
Yeah, and now it's like, yeah, okay, so what? Another one.
another
I mean,
like,
it's lost the impact almost.
well, it's totally lost the
There's
impact.
unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately. How shitty is
But
that?
now, remember, now they spent how many years screaming that Hillary Clinton had a pedophile sex ring on Mars?
Yes.
and
Right. Yep.
out of a laundromat or pizza place, right?
Pizza place.
Yeah.
Pizza
Yeah, they
place.
were operating
Pizza
out of a
place.
pizza place.
Pizzagate.
To where like somebody like some news organization had to like seriously rebut that claim. Like they had to make a statement that that wasn't actually true.
Yeah.
Because guilty
Which
until
was
proven innocent, right?
because of conflated statements, and if you've read the episode, because of all the references to pizza parties and pizza and grape soda that are in the Epstein files, right? With and so it's like stuff that is like there's a grain of truth to it, right? But it just gets conflated, and then people run with, especially people that want to be anti something, right? And so anti, so like, oh, the fucking Clintons and pizza, and they run with it. You know, they take it for truth, you know. And while
Me-
there's a grain of truth to it, not the
Meanwhile,
whole.
the current administration has pedophiles everywhere openly. They don't give a fuck. They're protecting them. So, like I said, none of this is about any kind of facts. It's all about their feelings. The cruelty's always the point. Every accusation is a confession. Like that's all you
White
ever.
power, fucking that white aristocratic. But not for me. I'm not fucking supporting that shit. Fucking I'm rainbows and fucking everybody is equal and shit. But that's what they're trying to do is fucking. They want white fucking men in power, white rich men in fucking control of everything. Fuck
I,
them.
I
Fuck y'all,
just
white rich people.
excuse me. I just want to go on the record as saying I did not have sex with that child. Seriously though, I didn't
she
do it.
she was 18 at the time. I don't give a fuck if he plowed her in the office because none of that means any. That was fucking 15, 20 years ago, and it didn't affect my life. This dipshit, everything he does affects my life. Like, right? I don't give a fuck. Every president, I hope every president gets a blowjob in the Oval Office from somebody, whoever you want. Like if I was president, I promise you I would.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of the point? Be like,
From a willing, consensual provider of said
Good point.
blowjob.
weird
There will
that
be
we
no
have
coercion.
weird that we have to say that at this point, but okay.
It is weird, but it is
It's
fucking
a
I
weird.
know,
But like
right?
that's the thing though, unfortunately.
You're right.
Unfortunately with the fucking Republicans in party or in power, you know? Like, you just gotta fucking say. It's you gotta
Am
fucking
I the
say
only
it.
one
Cause
who
if
feels weird about using rapeseed oil these days in cooking?
Oh,
It makes me
man.
feel dirty.
I
no,
mean,
that's fine.
so do you
It's like
like
using them.
so is there like a rape happening and then you press the two people and collect all the oil from the rape? How does
Maybe
that
that's
work?
why it makes me feel weird about it. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I would hope
you've got
so.
you have to get the semen from the rape. That's the seed of the
He
rape.
went there. Mm,
And then that gets you the oil of it.
I don't know where to go from
That's
there.
I got some
I
vomit
got
coming.
nothing. I got nothing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, appreciate all that. All right, so we're like an hour and 33, so I think we should probably hit the ridiculous headlines of the week.
Let's do it.
I have one ridiculous headline. It's very short, and we'll throw it in. We can put it with yours
Do
or
it.
fucking whatever.
Do it
But
right now.
hopefully, it'll be real quick. But it just so you'd had a ridiculous headline a few weeks ago about the baby that survived, right?
Oh yeah, holy shit, yeah.
Wait,
You
remind
remember it,
us.
right? You
Remind
remember
me.
the baby was fucking
Yep.
resuscitated
Yeah, like
or no, the
5
baby went to the
hours
morgue.
later,
It
the
died.
baby was
Okay.
like was alive in the
Okay.
morgue, and the parents were pieces of shit.
Yes, yes. So these parents apparently were not pieces of shit. They'd had circumstances outside of their control. So
Wait a minute,
there was
is
a
this the same story or a different story?
same. Well, it's the story I'm telling y'all about. I guess same story, not your story
Is
with
it
the
the
baby.
same
Okay, so
The
it's
story
story
not
that
that
he
it's not
told
the
us?
same people. It's not the same people.
no, no,
Not
no,
the
no,
same
no.
people. Okay,
Yeah,
good deal.
no,
That's what,
different people. Sorry,
different
yeah,
people.
just
Cool,
making
cool,
sure
cool.
I
Yeah,
was we're on the
cool.
same page in the same sentence. So there was a Pan Am. Y'all remember? I don't know. We probably do, but not that not that young people are going to listen to this fucking thing. But of our group, people could remember Pan Am, right? The airline,
The
right?
airline, sure enough.
Yeah, right. So there was a fucking crash, which is not funny, in 1952 that killed lots of people, right? And it was the flight that actually created it was the one. There was one of them that actually said like we need to have safety flights. It's the reason that like when you get on the flight and they have the stewardesses do the fucking exits this way and fucking masks and all that shit. Right? There's this flight. So this happened in 1952, and I don't remember what day it was. It was like a couple weeks ago, but it's just the anniversary of it, right? So they were reporting on it on the podcast. I heard of it. So there are two survivors left from this plane. There were a few survivors that made it, but there's two of them that are left alive right now. One of them is 102 years old. She was a nurse at the time, and she actually helped evacuate some of the other survivors off the plane. The other survivor, which I don't have very much information about, I didn't look it up anymore. The other survivor was a baby they found floating on the surface of the water. Rescued it, resuscitated it, and they are still alive to this day. So just like you said, it's in the flight and was just floating in the water, and someone saw it, was like, "Oh, baby, we should save this
Jeez, oh
thing."
man, that's
So
crazy.
wild. Anyway, there you go. That's my thing.
By the way, I looked up that story. I think you told Chronic about that lady who skydived her parachute, both her that is fucking 100% true. Like I watched like 3 videos on this shit.
Right?
I was trying to goddamn figure out a way to put the YouTube videos and like create a clip on here and everything, but it wasn't working. So fuck it.
Fuck it.
But so totally fucking happened. Like her main chute fails. She pulls the secondary. It opens, but then it collapses. So she hits the ground at 80 miles an hour. That's fucking fast.
Fast.
That
Yeah.
breaks some shit. She
Now that's
lands
fast, but
on
it's
the
well
goddamn.
below. It's well below terminal velocity, but it's fast.
It's
Like
oh no
two-thirds of it.
don't do not get me wrong. If this story didn't have like some kind of happy ending, I would absolutely always want to hit at terminal velocity versus 80 miles an hour. like
100% of the time.
like
Yes.
every fucking time.
Head
Don't get me.
first.
Let me
So-
keep sleeping.
So yeah, exactly. Let me keep fucking sleeping. I was doing good. So
Yes.
the chute collapses, so it's doing its fucking flappy thing like the goddamn, at the car dealerships, and she smacks the goddamn planet at 80 miles an hour, happens to land in an anthill. They sting the fuck out of her, red ants, like right over 200 times. The anaphylactic shock shocks her heart and like keeps her awake and alert enough until the fucking paramedics get there. And I was like, wow, man. Apparently,
Wow.
like you at that point, you've got to be like, okay, I apparently have some kind of purpose that I wasn't aware of. Like,
Something. Holy shit.
because yeah, otherwise,
Crazy.
you smack the earth at 80 miles an hour, you're gonna wish you were fucking dead.
That's where
Yeah.
Tom Hanks says to Matt Damon, "Earn this."
Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that because now Dawn and I went to see the Odyssey movie, which was really, really good. Probably 30 minutes too long for my taste, but taking into account, I saw a
Even
meme.
with the racially inaccurate actor
Yeah, it
portrayals.
was totally this fantastical story with giants and wizards and chicks that turn fucking dudes into pigs. Had a black chick playing a white character, God forbid. Like it's like so. Apparently, Elon Musk has to make a historically accurate version of the fucking
The South
thing.
African dude
Jesus Christ
has to make an fucking apartheid. I didn't mean to say that dirty word.
a part of what?
Part of hide, like
Yeah.
Heidi.
So he's gonna
Yeah,
get Gronk
anyway.
on it. Gronk's gonna churn out some like historically accurate version of a totally made up
It'll have-
story inspired by whatever the fuck people were dealing with back then.
It'll have child pornography in it because that's what Grok is really good at turning out these days.
Really?
But yeah, like of their not really good, but like of I just heard this story of like if there's like 3 million like videos that Grok was producing, or it may not necessarily be Grok, but it's part of the, I guess it's got to be Grok 'cause it's the AI fucking shit. Like 3 million video images that were produced by him, like 23,000 or more than, it might have been a little bit more. So it's not like a huge number, right? Because 3,023,000, but there's a significant portion, that small portion, were all child pornography
Damn.
images and videos and stuff that are produced through it. So it's like I said, again, not huge. It actually probably skews with the population, I would imagine, right? Like,
Well,
of
it's
like
kind of wild because like I saw something that said like half of all accounts online now are bots. I saw this guy who I follow
okay,
on Instagram. He's a drummer, man. This dude, he makes these amazing he's a great drummer and he makes crazy videos. I probably shared a few of them with you. But he did
yeah,
one where he was talking about AI, right? And basically what they were doing was they were stealing everyone's videos. Like somebody put out there, like, hey, check this database and find out if your shit's been tampered with, right? And he did and found out that his was. And what they were doing was, let's say he's making a drumming video. They take the arms and the motions of the arms off of him and put them on the AI character, so that they can claim that it's now their drumming, tutorial
yeah.
or whatever. And then the guy said, like, hey man, I spend about $500 a piece to make these videos, which I had no idea. Like, he's like, by the time I pay the engineer and the cameraman to do this, I'm like, all right, well, now we're talking, now I want to hear what you got to say at this point because you're invested.
Yeah.
This is just beyond your hobby. Obviously, he's good at what he does, and this is his career. But and that was kind of the bitch of it. And apparently, one of the AI companies just openly said, "We are going to gobble up everything that we can gobble up because basically you can't fucking stop us. And once we do it, what are you going to do?" So that's kind of where it's not a legal stance at this point because whatever. But that's kind of where they're at. Is like, what are you going to do about it? Anyway, where
I'm
I
gonna take a
was
shot.
where I was going
Okay.
before all that, we were talking about the Odyssey and Matt Damon. There was
Yes.
a meme that I
See, that's
saw
what.
that had.
Yes,
Did you see it? It had
yes.
Saving
20
Private
years
Ryan. It had
ago.
the Odyssey. It had the Martian. It had one other, and it says Hollywood has spent about $700 million trying to get Matt Damon home. So
And then there's another
that
one
was
that said 30 years ago, we had to rescue Matt Damon. 20 years ago, we had to strand him. No, we had to retrieve him from Mars. 10
yeah,
years ago, it was like, what was that movie 10 years ago anyway? And then this
yeah. That
one,
was the one I
we
couldn't
let him do
remember.
it on his own. That's what it
Yeah.
said.
I would recommend it. The Odyssey was great. Apparently, like if you can see it, if you can happen to see it in IMAX, it's super duper. But the tickets are like ridiculous right now, like thousands of dollars to see this movie in IMAX, like literally like
What?
$1,000. There's less than like 20 true IMAX theaters in the country. So I saw a news report where a pack of 4 tickets were going for like 10 grand.
Judah.
But yeah, this was last week. Yeah. But I
People
Wow.
mean,
are paying
don't do
10
that. Just go
grand to go watch a movie.
in IMAX.
Well, some
For
the
for
1%
4. Yeah, the
Period.
1%
of
are.
us
They're paying
were
Yeah.
10
and
grand
just
to go watch a movie. For 3 hours of their life,
Yeah.
they're getting nothing but watching a movie. Wow.
Dude,
the
you should
Odyssey in
look this up.
IMAX.
And yes, and you should look this up because I've seen a couple of news reports. There are very few IMAX theaters, and the IMAX film, the 70 millimeter film, it's 7 miles of film to show this movie. So it strings
Seen
across
that.
the whole goddamn room. It's on one reel. Like they didn't like
Nuts.
somehow. So yeah, I've seen a few of those kind of stories, and it's impressive. Yeah, it was a good movie, but I wouldn't pay $1,000 to watch it.
Yeah.
It's gonna look good from my couch from Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm saying we went to the theater. We saw it on an off day. It was fine. 3.5 fucking hours. Like, goddamn. And I was like, I bitched to Dawn. Like, the 70s for me were the fucking era of movie making. Right. Once the whatever happened where the doctorate where they said you could kind of show different things in movies that happened at like the end of the 60s. I think it just opened up like an era of movie making that we will probably never see again. Every movie was an hour and a half and they were fine. Like, other than the Deer Hunter. Like, that was the first one I remember being 2 video cassettes. Like, 'cause that movie was 3 hours long. And that movie needed to be 3 hours long. But otherwise, man, if you can't tell your story in an hour and a half, your fucking story ain't that good. Like, is my opinion, really. So I'll step down off my soapbox now.
It's a point though. Like it's a point. A lot there's all those movies. Like every once in a while, you get one that takes a couple hours or 3 hours, but for the most part, an hour and a half should be plenty to
Scorsese.
get that fucking movie done.
Hey, what's that now?
Scorsese.
Scorsese, yeah. Scorsese for sure. And as a writer, Stephen King. Like, man, I love Stephen King. I read most of his shit in the 80s, but goddamn, he can be self-indulgent back then. Apparently, it was the cocaine. So, but yeah, like, I will say Scorsese, what was that one he did? The Irishman or whatever? That movie was
Oh,
so good. That
Yeah, it
was,
was
I
great.
it
hated
was
it.
a master class in direct. You hated it?
Yes.
I seriously thought that was a master class in filmmaking in every aspect.
I'm gonna have to watch it again, but I didn't.
I
Pretty
mean,
sure that's the
I've
one I'm
only probably
thinking of.
seen it once, but it was great.
I
I
mean,
thought.
everybody else
Now,
loved it.
I
It
will
got
say
great
I won't
reviews.
I won't watch that one with the Indians he did. That's just too goddamn depressing. I don't want to see that. The
Or Last of the Mohicans?
no, Shadow Moon, Flower Moon, or whatever, something of the Flower Moon that Scorsese did.
Okay,
No.
was DiCaprio in that
Yeah,
one?
it's some Nero was. But apparently some awful shit got done to some Indians and I don't want to watch it. Like I just
No. Fuck that.
what can we make like some happy goddamn movies and celebrate those? Like what's Adam Sandler doing? Like
I don't know. The last one he did with that fucking was it the Run the Jewels or that fucking drill? That was I like Adam Sandler, but that movie just straight through to the end was like, holy shit, don't be a Jewish diamond fucking seller.
Overhand,
Weird.
the Pawn Shop movie.
No, I don't think it was a pawn shop movie. I can't remember. I think it was called like Jewels or something or whatever. But he was a like a diamond merchant or something. And but like his family, he had to leave his family. His children hated him. He got fucking people killed and
dude,
he owed money
so,
and it was terrible.
no,
I mean,
Adam. Nobody wants to see you doing this. We want Happy Gilmore 3. We don't give a fuck about like your serious shit.
yeah, please. I mean, it was great. I mean, and I don't want to take away anything from his acting. He's done some good, like,
Yeah, he's done some
he's
good
not a
serious
great
stuff.
actor, but he's done some good stuff.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I'm saying he's like no De Niro, and hey, I couldn't act, so I'm not trying to be like but but like it just it wasn't like he acted bad in the movie. I guess it just and maybe some people liked it, and maybe there's a story they were trying to tell, and that was the thing. I guess like I'm not trying to be super critical of it in any way. It's just it was a dark story, kind of just like
So
there's no yeah, I don't know. But anyway, happiness. That's funny stuff. Like you said, Happy Gilmore again. Fuck, that was funny.
did you like
Quit
what
looking at me, Schwan.
did you like what was it? Eternal Sunshine? Did he do that one or was that
No, that was Jim Carrey.
that was Jim Carrey?
Carrey.
What was the serious movie that Sandler did back around that same time though? Damn
Punch
it.
Drunk Love
That might be
or
it. That might be it. Yeah,
Jack Nicholson
yeah,
and
he did that serious role there. And I get it. Like, I think, you want to try different things, you want to do different things, and my God, the man's got the money to do whatever the fuck he wants. It's never going to hurt his career at this point. So by all means, go do whatever you want. But yeah, at this
love you.
point, I feel like the country needs like the next Lego Batman or Barbie. That we need something so goddamn stupid. Wait, okay, all right. So I feel like I've shared with both of you the amazingness that is the fucking French Canadian duo Angine de Portrine, the musical act that is the biggest
Yes.
fucking thing on the planet.
Oui,
We. Those
Oui.
two are fucking killing it. I love it. Every time I turn around, they're being parodied now. There's more shit. That is what we didn't even know we needed. Was two
Yes.
fucking aliens from somewhere up in Canada playing microtonal shit that is just blowing everybody's minds. And they've
Yes.
got the metrics behind them. Like they sold out. They like the Montreal Jazz Fest, or they've been selling out everywhere. Like it's amazing. So if you have not heard of Angine de Portrine or however I think that's how it's pronounced, check their polka dotted asses out.
I got some weird French accents in there that are hard to hit, I'd imagine, when you pronounce it. I don't know. I don't even want to attempt it.
Well, what they're named after is like it's a tightness in the chest. It's what that is. What it means. It's like a heart attack or like an
Angina. Okay.
angina. Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like Yep, angine de poitrine, whatever poitrine means, probably the heart, poitrine, tightness of the chest or tightness of the heart, something like that. But yeah. AI, have you checked them out?
I just now did. Thank you for mentioning it. I will be after this call, I will be checking them out.
You'll be like everybody else. Like your next thing you know, it's like everything you're watching is like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh my god, like my Instagram feed is just tore up. Like it went from you know, being out there playing their music, and then there's like the next round of like, oh my god, they're blowing up. Everybody knows them. You see like the news reports or blah blah blah, and then the next thing it's like the parody sites of all these guys that like they can't do anything. Like I tried to get about my brushing my teeth, and I'm watching Angina, like I just like so like it took off in a way that is amazing, and yeah, it really struck a nerve. So I feel like we're gonna get 2 episodes out of tonight.
Even with the downtime and like, a little spottiness, we might have to edit out. Yeah,
Well, I
it's
don't
so
know.
81.
Did you ever go back and watch the videos? Because like I put some like pictures and memes and stuff in the dead spaces, and like whenever you were saying how you were like I might sound like a dumbass, and I put like text up. Did you ever go back and actually watch that?
I watched a few of them. I watched the most recent one for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
Cause yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
throw memes and stuff in, put a little music under it, if we have like a break and then we have to come back to stuff. So I can kind of make some shit happen there.
yeah,
So
I
public
haven't
service
watched.
announcement.
Public service announcement.
If you guys are watching this, and first of all, kudos to you if you've sat all the way through these episodes here. If you need a trailer or a teaser or something edited, reach out to the part-time Buddha, because
You like that?
I mean, we're going through 2 hours of footage here, and he's going to put together a teaser or trailer that's going to be friggin' awesome. He's very skilled at it. So
Thank you very much. I will say, because so the way I used to edit these is I would try to edit them on 1.5 speed, but it just caused all kinds of problems. Like it would it would freeze, and then it would have to catch up, and then I was kind of used to that speed, which wasn't good. So now I just edit at regular speed one time. I go straight through. And then what I do, because I will say, shout out to Riverside on this. I know they're revamping and changing a lot of things with the editor right now, and there's a couple of issues, but overall, I love it. What I'll do is when I'm editing, if I hear one of those clips, I just copy it, I throw it back to the beginning, and I paste it, and then I take all those when I'm done, and I just play with them. And like all those little clips, I throw them all to the front, and I just do the this time on, and that's I listen for that kind of shit, and I throw it to the front, and it tends to work out. We've been great. Everybody's been great, giving me some nice sound bites. Chronic, you fucking crushed it last time.
I mean, we're lucky than good.
I was like, did he just say that? Oh my god. So but yeah, I will say when we were in film school together, AI man, editing was one of my favorite things to do. They call it the final rewrite, and I always enjoyed doing that. We're gonna go through the headlines, and really all I got are the headlines this week. I don't really have I didn't really dig deep because it was kind of last minute, and like I mentioned, I was taking a nap. But there's a lot of animals in the news this week. I don't know if our buddy, what's the fucking elephant seal, Neil the elephant seal, is
Neil,
Neil the elephant seal? Yeah, I don't see his name up
Neil
here,
Seal.
but
Yeah.
I've got 3 headlines involving animals right out of the gate. Kangaroo on the loose for several days in Missouri resurfaces. Spotted by a confused FedEx driver after evading authorities all week. Okay, that's one
Wait,
story.
did the FedEx driver evade authorities or the kangaroo?
The kangaroo.
Good, because
Right. Florida police chased down loose emu wandering Dade City, managed by local law enforcement before their morning coffee could kick in. I don't. Okay, all right.
wow.
Emu in Florida. All right.
Yeah,
And deputies respond to break-in, find bear cubs ransacking home in Colorado. Yeah, that tracks. That's
that
you're
tracks.
gonna see that kind of shit. Let's see. Bizarre roadway incidents. 2 things happened here. We have a crash truck covers, oh boy, let's start over on that one. Crashed truck covers Ohio highway in pickles. The smell.
Sweet or dill?
Doesn't say. It doesn't even have a link on that
Because
one.
I mean, I feel that's important to know because like both could. I mean, dill would be very, very
It's
pungent
going to be
out
pungent, but
there.
I mean, the bread and
Yeah.
butter is going to be better off the start, but once they go bad, it's just going to be, ugh.
You get a lot of bees and flies at that
You're going to get a
point.
lot of that. Sure enough.
Yeah, and it's no good. Yeah, give me, I guess, a dill. Yeah, dilly dilly.
Huh. I don't even know what that means. All right, we're
I
going to.
had two bear cubs and a mama bear in my truck today.
Really?
Yeah, at the job site. They fucking
Damn.
broke into my truck and pillaged my lunch, tore off a fucking the rain shield off the window. One of the bears stepped in shit outside of the truck and was kind enough to drag it inside the truck. Yeah, there's bear prints all over the hood and down the fucking side of the doors and shit. Ripped up my
Hell, are we 2
lunchbox.
hours
Yeah.
into a call and you're just now telling us this?
I
This
was
is
waiting
front
for a
page
story about
information.
animals and bears.
He's burying the lead again.
Well, it finally came to me. I fucking, it wasn't
I think he started this episode saying something about short-term memory loss.
what? I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was like 2 hours ago. So for him, it was like weeks.
That's funny.
All right.
You actually saw them or you saw the aftermath?
I saw the aftermath, but one of the subcontractors did get a little bit of on video. It was everyone else witnessed it. This is the second time it's happened. Previously, the other car also had bears in it. I managed to scare the mama off by throwing rocks at her, not
Not at the car.
like in her direction. That time. This time after the truck, like next time it will be at her with the intent to hit, and not out of maliciousness, but like this is and you talk to any bear management person, this is a problem with bears.
Yeah.
Once they know that they can feed in a thing, it's a problem for them. And so that's the thing. Like, I don't have any malicious thing about bears, but
You're
like this
supposed to
mama is
harass
teaching
them.
her cubs.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, that's my thing.
Personally, I would have
Fucking goddamn bears.
I would have no problem throwing a rock at a bear. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, all right. Our last two both involve Guinness World Records.
Yeah.
Idaho man juggles flaming torches on a unicycle, burns off eyebrows. A painful sacrifice for a new Guinness World Record. And British man eats 15 fish sticks in 1 minute to break world record.
In 1 minute? Damn.
Wait. How many fish sticks in 1 minute?
15? Are they the little ones or like the full flat ones? Because like,
like you get it like fish and chips.
It doesn't sound like a lot. All right.
I don't know. I feel like 15's a lot though. I feel like you think 15 wouldn't be, but I bet about the fifth or sixth one, you're like, oh,
there is a lot of breading. Got to keep in mind all the breading.
Huh.
It's gonna be, of course,
Well,
Joey
that's a lot of
Chestnut
protein.
scoffs at this, I bet.
But you can eat hot dogs, and that's a lot of protein too.
Well, it shows him. There's a picture here. It kind of shows him just like eating the fish out of like a fryer basket or something. They don't look. I don't know. I don't know how big a British fish stick is versus an American fish stick. I don't have that fucking conversion chart.
It's probably smaller. You know how all the American portions are larger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so.
But I'm just saying, like,
there's that.
15 of like the fish sticks, I could totally do that in a minute.
I feel like I could too.
But like,
yeah, like those finger, like Long John Silvers.
Right. Yeah, but if you're talking about like those flat ones that kind of like go to a little tapered point, I don't think 15 of those are going down my gullet in a minute.
No, but yeah, the little like not Long John Silver. What's that? The yellow and blue box. The people with the slickers.
Not Captain Morgan. That's alcohol.
No. Yeah, it is.
The Gordon's Fisherman.
Indeed.
Gordon's Fisherman.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Gordon's
15 of Gordon, and those are probably terrible for you. But I guarantee you, I could house 15 of those fucking things in 30 seconds.
Totally, I'd knock those out.
Boom, done. Give me a fucking bowl beforehand, and let's go.
All right, if I got a Guinness World Record that I could probably break. I have like a fucking Teflon mouth. Like I can make fucking pizza rolls and eat them in the minute they come out of the oven. Like I don't give a fuck. Like
Jesus.
people get mad at me because like we had friends over and we all got high and like I made like a whole 50-pack of fucking things and I ate half of them before they cooled down enough for anybody else to touch one. Like so
Studies
there's got
show
to
that
be a
can lead to mouth cancer.
Well, way to be a downer.
wow, dude.
I don't want you to get mouth cancer.
I'm gonna finish my story anyway.
Yeah, keep going. I support you, Buddha. Yeah, you wolf down those hot Tostinos.
I smoke a fucking pack of Marlboros a day for 14 years. My dude's warning me about pizza rolls. So I'm
Hey,
just saying, there's got to be a record in there somewhere. How many can you eat
There
before
is.
they get below a certain temperature?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so apparently we're going to end this 2 hours talking about mouth cancer.
Way to bring us down, AI.
Wrapping it up on a downer note. So wait a minute. So you're saying like eating hot food or too hot food can cause mouth cancer?
Or extremely, extremely hot beverages. Yeah. Even if you tolerate it, even if it doesn't cause you pain, it can still lead to mouth cancer.
I like my coffee hot.
And actually this is true. My dad has always tolerated hot stuff. And he recently had a little cancer removed from his tongue. Coincidence? Maybe? I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
Jesus.
Huh. Could be. Be interesting.
I can't have my fucking volcanic showers anymore. I can't have my fucking super hot coffee anymore.
You
Can't eat
used
my
to
fucking
take like
pizza
hot
rolls
lava
before they cool
showers?
down.
Damn.
I love fucking volcanic showers. My
Damn.
God. Yeah.
Do you think like hot lava enemas would cause like rectal cancer? I mean, maybe.
You get to a certain temperature, you won't have to worry about cancer because it's just going to burn right through the fucking walls.
Gonna scald some shit out there, you know?
We really do not have. We are 2 hours and 3 minutes. We do not have time to go down the hot water ass cancer route right now. We can't do this. Like we can put a fucking pin in this and come back next time and talk about shitting volcanic water up your ass. But I'm gonna pass on that one too.
That was well done, though, Chronic.
I can't believe we got here tonight. I can't believe we all got all the way to here. All right,
that's what I'm here for. To dig us to this point.
Took us 2 hours, but we got to the point where we're like, no mas. I think we're done. Unless anybody has any. This is where we talk about sports. So if you got something to say about sports, say it. Because otherwise, soccer can kiss my ass.
Soccer's number 4 in the most talented.
Yeah, well, I'll give them 4. They're good at 4. That's a comfortable position for all of us.
I don't know, and I don't fucking care.
I'm going with 4.
Hockey's number 1.
Hockey's number one. All right, fellas. Until next time. Peace.
See ya.
Later.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was something.